Some of the best villains in comic book history have come from DC Comics. DC Comics has a lengthy history of creating some of the greatest villains in the history of the medium. With such a vast range of heroes, it was only natural that there would be an equally diversified range of rogues to challenge them. Today we will be talking about top DC Universe male villains in film. Before starting, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more future updates. Number 10. Deathstroke. Deathstroke has been a continual thorn in the side of several DC heroes over the years. Unlike most villains who remain around to harass one particular good guy, the ultimate assassin has taken assignments that placed him in direct conflict with Batman, Green Arrow, and even the whole Justice League, but he has always managed to avoid capture. Deathstroke, using his assassin skills, is always one step ahead of his opponents, even if his schemes don't always work out. His healing factor and slowed aging make him more than just a formidable assassin, making him extremely difficult to destroy. He also has improved IQ, which adds brains to his already impressive brawn. Number 9. Two-Face. Two-Face is one of the most fascinating villains to ever oppose Batman. Acting as an almost permanent force of evil in the Batman universe, Two-Face began his career as the Pleasant District Attorney Harvey Dent, but after being scarred, he went to a life of crime. While many of Batman's adversaries are uncontrollable beasts, Two-Face is a quiet and intelligent mobster who uses his superior mental abilities to achieve his goals. His Jekyll and Hyde personality, embodied by his partly scarred visage, is what sets him apart, though the negative sides of Harvey Dent's psyche were amplified when he became Two-Face. The duality nature of Harvey Dent was firmly established long before he went bad. Number 8. Black Manta. Black Manta, performed by a very pure, Emmy nominee Yahya Abdul-Mateen II with revenge-seeking pirate passion, is that rare example of a comic book character whose design should definitely not translate to screen, yet does in the context of James Wan's Technicolored Batshit-a-thon. Take a look at this guy's bulbous ass head. He resembles a fish tank figurine in a dorm room. However, Aquaman quickly establishes itself as a Ray Harryhausen-inspired marine adventure in which the fantastic is the norm. You're already on an underwater roller coaster when David Kane stomps onto the screen in full Manta suit. Number 7. Dr. Doom. Dr. Victor Von Doom is a supervillain that appears in Marvel Comics' American comic novels. The Fantastic Four-5 introduced the character, which was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Dr. Doom, the emperor of the fictitious nation of Latveria, has been portrayed as both a supervillain and an anti-hero, and is most commonly depicted as the Fantastic Four's archenemy. Other superheroes with whom Doom has clashed include Spider-Man, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Black Panther, the X-Men, and the Avengers. The character has been adapted from the comic books into a variety of media, including television shows, video games, and goods like action figures and trading cards. Number 6. Darkseid. The New Gods are a diverse species that has given birth to both heroes and evil. Darkseid is one of these new gods with very definite plans for the multiverse, and they aren't very nice. Darkseid's ultimate objective as the tyrannical ruler of Apocalypse is to conquer the whole multiverse, and he is ready to use the Justice League to accomplish this goal. His schemes are not just nefarious, but his abilities as a new god enable him to carry them out. Darkseid appears to be an invincible antagonist, possessing superhuman strength, intelligence, and an invulnerability factor. Darkseid is one of the most powerful villains in comic book history, thanks to his propensity to commit any number of wicked crimes. Number 5. General Zod. There's no one in Hollywood who does smoldering intensity like Michael Shannon, a fact that a large chunk of the movie-going public was unaware of until Man of Steel. Shannon gives a startlingly silent performance as murderous Kryptonian Commander Zod in a film that concludes with the deaths of about 10 billion Metropolis residents. Shannon's Zod, on the other hand, plays the job military straight, obviously tamping down decades of wrath from a trip inside the Phantom Zone. It's terrible when Zod's military man exterior cracks. Nobody erupts quite like Michael Shannon. Your experience with Man of Steel may differ, but don't pretend you weren't excited to be sitting in a theater and hearing Shannon screaming, and I don't mean in a good way. I will find him. She screamed. Number 4. The Riddler. The Riddler stepped in to torment the world's finest detective when he needed a more difficult problem to solve. The Riddler, in all of his incarnations, is one of the most instantly recognizable villains in comic book history, with his characteristic green suit studded with question marks. His many brilliant riddles, which have kept Batman on his toes for decades, are the defining feature of his personality, though the Riddler isn't the most physically intimidating villain in Gotham. His obsession for solving puzzles has put many civilians in danger and pushed Batman to his utmost. Number 3. King Orm, Aquaman. Orm Marius is the younger half-brother of Arthur Curry and the former king of Atlantis. He is the second son of Atlanta and the younger half-brother of Arthur Curry. Orm is a skilled warrior and the previous ruler of Atlantis. As the Ocean Master, he tried to unify the Seven Kingdoms against the surface world owing to humanity's ongoing pollution and maltreatment of the waters throughout history. Despite his best attempts, he was eventually beaten and caught by his half-brother, now known as Aquaman, who took Orm's throne to become the new king of Atlantis, holding the Trident of Atlan. After a brief reunion with Atlanta, he was brought into custody. Orm is Aquaman's half-brother, born to Atlanta, Aquaman's mother, and the warlord Orvax Marius. He resurfaces as Ocean Master and a Justice League foe. Number 2. Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is a DC Comics supervillain who appears in comic books. The character was created by writer-artist Jack Kirby and first appeared in New Gods. Steppenwolf is the maternal uncle of Darkseid, since he is the brother of Hegra, a new god and military general from the planet Apocalypse. In battles against Superman and the Justice League, he is frequently depicted as Darkseid's lieutenant, commanding his nephew's army of parademons. The character appears in the DC Extended Universe and made his live-action debut in the film Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, using computer-generated imagery, before being played by Kieran Hines in both the theatrical release and the director's cut of Justice League, using motion capture. Number 1. The Joker. Joker, the clown prince of crime, is generally the first name that comes to mind when the word villain is mentioned in the context of comic books. The Joker has been tormenting Batman and others since his debut decades ago, with an almost unknown past. Despite the fact that he isn't superhuman, the sick clown has almost no remorse for his evil deeds. The Joker has gone through numerous variations, ranging from ridiculous to horrific, and each one seems to ratchet up the horrifying potential. His pure unpredictability nature is what makes him so terrifying. Unlike most villains, who have very distinct and often obvious intentions, the Joker appears to act out every nasty impulse that comes to mind. The Joker has put more pressure on Batman than any other foe, even pushing him to break his own moral code on multiple occasions. That is, we now have a bonus character for you. Black Adam. Black Adam, like the Reverse Flash and Lex Luthor, is the polar opposite of the superhero he opposes, Shazam. Mama Reagan, the Wizard, bestowed amazing abilities on Taith Adam. The Wizard had done this to ensure that he had a successor before he died. What he didn't expect was for Taith Adam to use the authority he gave him to overthrow the Egyptian pharaoh. Worse, he ascended to the throne and immediately began reigning with an iron fist. This concludes today's video. What are your thoughts on our list? Please let us know what you think in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like us and subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates.